Hey, everyone. Welcome to All About the Joy. We're a little bit early. We're live. Cynthia and I went on live quick. Who's saying hi? Is that
was Alma?
Oh, hi, Alma. She's not going to show her face.
She said, hey.
Hey. Yeah, no. So we were getting in the depths of a conversation, and I was like, let's just go on because, see, this is the juicy stuff. So Cynthia was just giving me an update on what happened last week with her patient. The doctor came and apologized to her for a patient's behavior. And I was asking, but why did the doctor, it's not the doctor's fault. No. So Cynthia was going on to tell the rest of the story. Go ahead, Cynthia.
Yeah. So the doctor sent me an email apologizing, just asking if there was anything that she could have done or said to make the situation better, because she felt bad for me. She saw how upset I was and how the patient was treating me. And I just told her, people are having an off day. It's no one's fault. It is what it is. We deal with it and move on. So
that's empathy. That's just empathy. That's nothing else. When you have concern for someone, if you're a good person or a kind person, it's not that they did anything wrong, but they felt bad that you had to endure that situation. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's great.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, we're live. We're live already.
Hi.
You know what? Let me give a shout out to Tony, because it's totally the reason why we've come up with this All About the Joy thing. And it's so funny on that clip. Did you guys check out the clip?
Yes.
Yeah.
So funny. I was cracking. We didn't even rehearse. It was so good. Hey, Melanie.
Speaking of Tony.
Hey, Tony. Speaking of Tony, how you doing? But that's kind of part of our whole logo and our thing now. So Cynthia was just giving an update on what happened last week with one of her patients, and her doctor turned around and apologized. We were just going through that kind of thing where I was kind of asking, why would the doctor apologize for the patient's behavior? And Mario, of course, is like, empathy, bitch. That's how
I didn't say that, but yeah, empathy. Yeah.
Empathy, bitch. That's how he said it. But Rick, how are you doing?
Good. Just as always, busy.
Busy. Mario, how are you? I didn't check in with you when you came on.
I'm doing really well. Just counting down the days, getting stressed out for this kid.
Wait, what do you mean getting stressed out for this kid?
Because my kid's graduation's everything's like all the phone calls are coming in. My dad's getting ready to fly in. It's just logistics now. Everybody's just calling me back to back. People are saying, they got, stuff in the mail. I'm like, okay, yeah. They're like, what are you doing? What's next? I'm like,
Well, let's just tell everyone, especially people who are listening to the podcast in the future, that your daughter,
Marissa.
I say Mauricia. Okay. Is it? Can we say it in Spanish like that? No.
Even if it's in Spanish, it's Marisa.
All right, whatever.
It's Marisa Luz.
Marissa. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying, I knew her when she was in the belly and everything.
You did. You knew her before she knew herself.
That's right. I knew her before she knew. Oh my God! Don't say that to that child. That's just wrong. I did not say that. I'm just kidding. Bless it. But she's graduating from Pepperdine.
Yes. At 20 years old. Come on now.
That is just a blessing. Yes. What are we snapping? Is that what we're doing?
Snaps for the kids. That's what the kids do.
Yay, that's so cool. So, well, congratulations. That's a good thing to be busy and crazy about. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Today she had her sunset ceremony. So when the freshmen come in, they have a sunrise ceremony as freshmen at Pepperdine, where they go and watch the sunset as a class, and it represents the beginning of their journey at Pepperdine. And now that they're seniors, they're having their sunset ceremony where the sun is setting on their time there, and it's a beautiful thing. And they sit and watch the sunset, and they have this beautiful ceremony at sunset. It's great. So
that is beautiful. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, congratulations. I'm so happy for us. I feel like I had a part to do with it.
Absolutely.
Nothing. That's nothing at all. But and I can't believe I still haven't met her. I'm gonna have to meet her.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Well, I do have to meet her. I feel like I know her, and I don't. You know what I mean?
That's okay. But you do, but you don't.
I know. I do, but I don't. Okay, but here's the thing. Here's what I want to talk about. So Mario, it's so funny because we're thinking the same. You know what I mean? We were thinking the same thing. All right. So Mario texts me and he's like, I really want to talk about Beyonce. I really want to talk about this song, Jolene. And I was like, baby, of course, whatever you want. And if you can come on, that'd be great. And you said you would come on, which I think makes it all flavorful. But before we start talking about it, I think we should show a little new video. Rick, you have it all queued up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just set this up. We're going to have a conversation about Beyonce and her newest album.
Country Carter. Go get it.
What's it
called? Country Carter. Go copy it. No, Cowboy Carter. Cowboy Carter.
Cowboy Carter. That's right. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to have a little conversation about it. And we'll get to the whole OJ thing later, because I think it's all kind of the same thing in a lot of different So trust me on that. All right. So let me just do this. And we're going to watch this video. And I don't think Mario or Cynthia have seen this. Not from me. I just had Rick do this late today because I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
So Beyonce's in her country phase right now. Okay. I get it. This ain't Texas, it ain't Hold'em. My kids just say that over and over and over and over and over again. It's a nice start to a song. But the next version has a bit of Dolly Parton's Jolene in it, but apparently this is empowering. Has she actually read the words that she was singing?
Can I tell you something? Like, why do we have to? It's fine that they make a queen out of Beyonce. I don't totally understand why. I mean, she's a good singer. She's talented. I don't deny that. Why does it have to be, yes, Queen Bey? No, she's not a queen. People like her music. She sings some good music. That's it. Okay? She didn't cure cancer. She's not Marie Curie. Calm down. So now she decides to take a step into the country lane. And it's like, country music has been remade. It's remade. Is it? Okay, we have a new player in country music. Country music has been around for a long, long time. It goes right to the heart of America. And most Americans in red states have been loving and enjoying it long before Queen Bey decided to stick her big toe into the lane. But fine, okay, she comes over. She makes an album, which, of course, because she's queen, has gotten the thumbs up and the promotion from Michelle Obama, from Vice President Kamala Harris, from Paul McCartney, from Dolly Parton herself. She's no dummy. She called everybody and said, I need you to do me this favor and say you love my album, which they did.
Back me in.
But she takes Jolene, which is such a catchy song by Dolly Parton. And Jolene, one of the most interesting thing about that song, in addition to its catchy tune, is the story it tells. It tells the story of a very insecure woman who sees another woman who she thinks and strongly believes is much more attractive than she is, with her auburn hair and her green eyes.
I love the auburn hair.
She knows, and she knows Jolene can steal her man away. Now, this doesn't say good things about her man, but she knows that it could happen. And instead of like going over and threatening Jolene, what she does is begs Jolene not to take her man away. She begs her, saying, I know you could do it, but I'm begging you, please don't. Because for me, he's the only guy there is. And that's an interesting window into an insecure woman's heart. And it's also kind of clever because she flatters Jolene like it's a smart but insecure woman. Anyway, that's the story of the song, or at least it used to be. Queen Bey got her hands on the song, and God forbid she sing anything that make her look less than, all empowered with the muscle. And so now she's got to change it to, if you come by my man, I'm basically going to beat the hell out of you. I'm going to beat you up. Those right? Like, take that, biatch. And she uses the B word in the song.
Ooh.
And she turned Jolene into her version of a badass, because that's what modern day feminism looks like. By the way, completely missing that the true power move is to write a song about Jolene not even worrying about this. Jolene has no worries because her man loves her and is committed to her and would never cheat on Jolene. So the most beautiful woman in the world could come walking by. She's good. But Queen Bey doesn't understand that. She's got to pretend she's tough, which only telegraphs to those of us who are paying attention that she isn't. The whole thing is bass-ackwards, and I object.
Yeah, also, look, if this current version, the redoing ain't doing it for you and the Dolly Parton one is a little bit too old for you, can I play Goldilocks here for a second? There's a magnificent version that Miley Cyrus did. It's very sort of low-key, and she's kept on all of her clothes for most of it. It's a good version of it if you get the chance.
Okay, so I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to let Mario start.
Where's Rick?
Where's Rick? Rick, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I accidentally clicked you off with the thing. Anyway.
I'm gonna play something real quick.
No, not real quick. Go ahead. You got the floor, baby. No, we can't see it or hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No. What are you listening to?
It's Dolly P. You know that hussy with the good hair you sang about? Reminded me of someone I knew back when. Except she has flaming locks of auburn hair. Bless her heart. Just a hair of a different color, but it hurts just the same.
It's the album. Go ahead.
That was Dolly Parton herself on the album. Mm-hmm. Speaking to her, she said, "Hey, honey bee, this is Dolly P." She said, yes. She said, basically, this is her giving her kiss of her seal of approval to the remake. And then Beyonce never called that woman a bitch. She said, I'm a bitch.
Right.
She said, so there's a difference. And then on top of it, when you have somebody like Willie Nelson, who she didn't have to call, he could have said no. Dolly Parton has been all over social media giving everything she wanted to Beyonce. Then on top of that, Dolly Parton said back in 2022 that she wanted Beyonce to remake her song. So she asked for this. on top of. So miss me with that, all that foolishness, because, and then miss me with that idea that country music came from red states.
Let's stop from there. Let's just stop for a second, okay? Let me just say hi Sheila, hi Alma. Alma just said she's empowered and is in step with the time. The whole point is to engage the younger generation, and Dolly P gave her the go at it. I actually think this is a much bigger conversation. I actually don't think it's about approval from Dolly Parton or changing the lyrics a bit or whatever. First of all, I want to say to Megan, what's her name? Megan Kelly,
who got canceled on NBC, but let's keep it moving.
No, but it's okay. She has a right to her opinion. I'm going to say this, and then I want Cynthia and Rick to chime in before I go off, okay? Here's my thing about Megan Kelly and anyone else who is in this kind of nasty place where they're trying to dismiss someone who created a piece of art. It says more about who you are than it does anything at all about Beyonce. Beyonce don't need no approval from anybody. She don't need no approval from Dolly Parton, from Willie Nelson, from anybody.
Paul McCartney,
from anybody. And let me just say this. The idea that Beyonce had to call them and ask them to help her, bullshit. She called them probably to be like, hey, I'd love to do this. I'd love to collaborate, blah, blah, blah. But this idea that Beyonce would be begging for some approval is a weird idea of what art is. Megan Kelly, what's her name? Megan Kelly. Megan Kelly. I mean, I saw that clip and I was going to send it to you all. And I thought, nope, let's just play it on the show. I want people to learn from this situation. You can be a better person when you understand nuance.
Yes.
Things are not black and white. Things are intricate. There is a much bigger issue going on than what Megan Kelly is throwing out there to the public, which is bullshit to get us all riled up. She is so full of shit with what she's talking about. It's heart-wrenching to me to listen to. And that's why I played it. Hi, Ash. How are you?
Yes.
And Ash, I want to say something to Ash. Ash wrote on YouTube on one of our videos that she's so glad that we don't talk about race. And I told her today, do not come on here.
It's a race kind of day.
A race, baby. So Cynthia and Rick, before I keep going on, I'd love to get you guys to chime in. Cynthia, I wonder what your thoughts are.
Oh, yeah. She's definitely hating, first of all. From the back, she's hating on Beyonce, whether she calls herself a queen or not. Who is she to say that she can't call herself a queen or that anybody else calls her a queen? She is a queen in her own right. She has worked her ass off. Mm-hmm. And Dolly Parton gave her okay. I'm not a fan of the song Jolene, but that's my choice. That's my opinion. Everyone has the differences.
That's not my favorite song on the album either, by the way.
No.
Yeah, and she didn't even, this Megan person didn't even get it right. Because Jolene is actually the person who's trying to take Dolly Parton's man. And she was referring to her as if she was the person who had the man. So she couldn't even get her facts straight.
Mm-hmm. So because this is all about hate, right? It's all about hate. Right?
Yeah.
Rick, thoughts?
Well, my first impression was we are taking up television time to talk about what you feel about a song. Okay, this is what we're doing? All right. You can't talk like that with your friends. You got to go on international TV to talk about a song that you personally don't care about. If I came on and talked about everything I don't care about, we'd be here forever. That's what we're doing with our valuable time. I don't know. I listened to the song, listened to the whole thing, actually, the whole album. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, now Jolene's the only one I know.
I know Rick is really low. Rick, why are you so low today in your mic? I tried to raise you over here, but I think you're talking softly. Go ahead.
Is this better? I just jacked it up.
Go ahead. I think it's better. Go ahead. Let's
Jolene's the only one I was familiar with at all. So I was like, all right, let's see what Beyonce does with it. And I was like, okay, it's all right. If you're gonna do a song that's super popular like that, I'm expecting to be wowed. And it was all right. So I picked two songs that I did, Texas Hold'em and Most Wanted, which I think had Miley Cyrus sound like her in it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Those were the only two that I was like, oh, I could kind of jam with this, but the rest I was like, But yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Mario.
I was gonna say Jolene. I was expecting more, but I'm not saying it was bad, but
right.
Just was expecting more, especially because it's Beyonce. She has a beautiful voice. Yeah, Ashley. Yeah, she definitely.
Exactly,
yeah.
Ashley. She does.
Go ahead,
Mario.
She also remade Blackbird. I don't know. Ooh,
so
Blackbird
good.
is a very poignant song, which was written by Paul McCartney. And if you know the history of the song is based upon the Little Rock Nine, who actually were the first integrated kids in Arkansas, but he was over in the UK seeing all the hate and the racism that was going on towards these kids. And he wrote a song about the Little Rock Nine. And that's really what that song is based upon. So for him to, again, her rendition is actually very beautiful. It's because it's a solemn song. It's not a upbeat song. Blackbird is actually a very sad song. And it's country, but to me, it's more folk. But folk and country the lines are blurred. They interchange. But I thought her rendition was done very well. And then also she's taking this opportunity to expose us to a lot of other African American country artists that I was not aware of. Like Tanner Bell is one, Willie Jones was another one. I was not familiar with their music, but because I was able to listen to this and say, okay, who is that? I went and Googled them and was like, oh, okay, this, I can get into it. So, because I personally am not a fan of country music in general, because it's the twang.
It's the twang.
It's the twang. And some people say country music is storytelling. Well, all music is storytelling. Yes, everyone has a story. It's just how it's delivered and depicted. And I believe there's a right way and a wrong way to deliver music. Every other word doesn't have to be.
Well, wait. Can I just intervene? Let's just say that there's a right and wrong way for you as an individual
to receive it.
Right, to receive it. Okay, let's just be clear, because I love rap, and
so do I.
A lot of people can't handle rap because they can't receive it. That's not their thing. I feel the same way with you about country, but I just want to make sure that we don't want to degrade art for other people.
No. I'm not. Go ahead. Me personally, I'm not a country fan, but if you listen to this country album, it's not really a country album. And then Beyonce.
Didn't Beyonce say that it wasn't a country album?
She said it's not a country album. She said it's a Beyonce album.
That's right.
There you go. But because all of this controversy and all of this stemmed from when she went on the Country Music Awards, the CMAs, with the Chicks. And at the time, the Chicks were blacklisted, and she brought them out and she performed with them. And people were all in an uproar. People are walking out during her performance and protest, because.
Okay, wait, but Mario, let's talk about what that really is. And I understand that we don't normally talk about politics and race on this show. And I talked about that in my latest podcast, but there are going to be times when we need to talk about it. And as long as we do it respectfully and kindly and with respect, I'm okay with it, but it's not our everyday thing. But why do you believe that the album that came out stemmed from that performance on this? I kept saying the CMTs, but the CMAs. What's your thought process on that?
Well, that's layered. I know there was some controversy with the Chicks at the time, and they were an issue within themselves.
Right.
And then Beyonce has been pigeonholed into a category of an R&B singer or, whatever. And she's quote unquote not country. So that was a second part of this. I don't want to say it's because she's a Black woman, because
you know what? And you know what? I'm going to say it. So I'm going to say it. I'm sorry.
Well, the only reason I'm trying not to say that is because I don't want to be disrespectful to the other Black artists who are country artists. Like,
right, but here's the thing. I wouldn't, but I disagree with you. And I'm not going to fight with you.
No.
Here's my feeling. I didn't even know, other than Hootie and the Blowfish guy, whose name I still don't know.
Darius Rucker. I
don't know any other Black country person except that Beyonce just turned around. Right. So, but they're not so fantastical that I know them.
No,
I don't know them. So why is that? Why is it? What is the layering of this situation that we as a public are just finding out about some of these artists who happen to be Black,
right,
who are in country music? And by the way, I didn't know until Beyonce's album that country music started in the African American community in slavery times. Like,
it came from Africa, not
in Africa. It came over, right? The whole banjo conversation. And here's what I'm trying to say to white people. And I'm saying white people. I know this is painful. When we are just learning new things, when we are understanding and having the ability to be smarter about where things originated, we should embrace that, not push it away. This is a fact. This is not hearsay. This is not pretend. And I am angry that I keep having to learn new things about my country. I am angry you should be angry about it too. You should be angry that you don't know this shit about country music. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, it's country music as a whole. It's just not it will never probably be my favorite genre, but I'm open to learning more about it only because of the artists that I'm discovering through this, and it's opened my eyes to the different forms of country music. It's not just,
I know, but just because people are black doesn't mean I have to like their music. Wait. But I'm just gonna say, just because black people are doing country music doesn't mean I have to like it. No. I had a conversation with Billy, my brother from another mother, and he was like all up in arms about Beyonce this, Beyonce that, and I was like, Lemonade. Like, I'm a huge Lemonade fan. That's one of her albums. If you don't know, she's had 8 albums. Okay, like full on amazing albums. And my favorite is Lemonade. And what I was saying to him, because he's never
were mad, weren't you? You said you was angry.
You know what?
You angry chick. If you like Lemonade, you was mad all the time.
I know. That was an angry album.
It was an angry album. You was carrying that.
Angry. It was so good. It was so amazingly done. And it was so the thing about Beyonce is she's so layered. She's so intricate in how she presents her music. And I'm gonna say this and piss a lot of people off, but Prince is the only other artist that I think can get at my heart in the same way that Beyonce isn't one of my favorite artists.
Right.
I'm not a Beyonce like crazy person, but when I listen to Beyonce's entire albums, and I do because I respect her, I think she's amazing. I'm shook by her ability to write and sing and put together something, and her fashion. It's all of it. She is a genius artist.
Yeah.
And the idea that someone like Megan Kelly or whatever the fuck her name is, can't call her a queen. Nobody's calling her a motherfucking queen. Like, Beyonce isn't walking around calling herself a motherfucking queen.
No, she doesn't.
We call people queens because we revere them. Like, that's the weird thing about the Megan Kelly thing. It's like, girl, you don't even get what queen means, bitch. Why are you even talking about it? You don't even get it. It's not even a black thing. You don't even get the honor in it, bitch. You don't get it. What am I missing in the laughter? What am I missing?
No, it's because you're going hard.
Like, I'm going off. You know what's so funny? I'm not even going off, okay? I'm just saying, I'm not a country person, music fan at all. I don't like the twang. Texas Hold'em was interesting. I love this album because of the controversy and the artistry and the brilliance of it and the reasoning and the beauty of it. Like, come on, that is something. That is art, baby. That is art. That is beautiful.
Well, you know what? We're talking about it, and artists discussed whether you like Rick likes Texas Hold'em, and he likes was it Two Most Wanted, right?
Most Wanted, yeah, Two Most Wanted.
Two Most Wanted. But see, those are 2 songs that he wouldn't have thought about liking before. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, it's still exposing, and because we're having a conversation, probably you exposed yourself to something you probably wouldn't normally listen to, right, Rick?
Right.
But it's also art is discussion. It's you
can
know,
appreciate it.
Appreciation. It's agreeing. It's disagreeing. It sparks conversation and sparks thought. That's the purpose of art.
That's art.
That's art.
Let me just say hi to Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Ghost Town's album Last Time is really good. What's Ghost Town's album? I don't know what that is.
Ghost Town is the name of a group.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. But hi, Brian. Thank you for stopping by. And Ash, love you. Yeah, right off the hop, she's come out rocking who she is. Exactly. Yes, I love that. Cynthia, Rick, I'm sorry we're hogging the mic, but please.
That's right. I mean, I listen to some country. It's like, it's not my go-to music, but I do appreciate it. I listen to all kinds of music. I mean, my Pandora has all kinds of music. And, you know, like you said, Carmen, Beyonce is not my top artist, but I can appreciate her music.
Okay, wait. I just want to be clear. I love Beyonce.
I do too, but she's not.
This album. I love her. I love her as an artist, as a art. I revere her. I just want to be clear. This album is not my favorite. I listened to it from beginning to end, and I enjoyed some of the songs. But
right,
I'm a
every song is not a banger, but you know, it's
not for me. Not for me. But it's white people in country music. I'm laughing my ass off. I'm freaked out about it. Go ahead, Cynthia. I'm sorry.
The Texas Hold'em song just kind of reminds me of another line dance song, like the Cha-Cha Slide or you know, the Cupid Shuffle. That's all it reminds me of.
Fair.
Exactly.
Yeah. Rick?
Kind of going along with what Mario said, when you see people going to a place where they feature art, they don't just look at it, they discuss. They talk about it. This is what I see, and this makes me feel this way. And art, that is exactly right. What he says is exactly right. You discuss it, you talk about it, and your point of view could be completely different. You see something I don't see, and I'm like, I don't see that, but they see that, and you can't say you're wrong.
Right.
That's not what you see it differently. You have a different perspective. So to say somebody's wrong is just ridiculous.
Mario, what is your feeling? I mean, I know that you're nicer than I am, but this whole Queen conversation really pissed me off. I mean,
well, you know what?
Oh my God, it killed me.
You know, in music, they give everybody a title. Prince was Prince. They call Patti LaBelle the godmother of soul. They call Aretha the
but we use Queen pretty liberally.
They called Aretha Franklin the Queen of Soul, right?
I don't know, but the word Queen is pretty usable
it's being revered as the top of something. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that she is a literal queen. She is at the top of her game.
Okay, so, but can I
say it.
I'm gonna say it. The reason why Megyn Kelly is all over, all like, you know, her clutching her pearls and panties in a bunch is a fucking jealousy thing that I can't understand with white people. Like white women, and I know I'm gonna lose followers and shit. It's all good, it's fine. But because I can't be who I'm not, I can't do it.
No,
why would you be so upset and angry about somebody being called a queen? A queen is an honor. Yeah. It is something that we bestow on somebody that we respect and feel has done something brilliant and amazing. And the fact that, man, if I knew Megyn Kelly, I swear to God, I would sit down and have a conversation with her. Like, bitch, you just made yourself look so motherfucking stupid.
But not to her base. Mm-hmm.
I know, but her base, okay, but here's the thing. I'm done with her base because her base is part of my country. And I still have faith in the people in my country that they are good and decent human beings. And they understand nuance. They do. We keep thinking that these people are stupid as fuck. And that's why Megyn is doing what she's doing.
Brian, you're right. Calling anyone royal title is just a sign of respect. Completely.
Brian, exactly.
You get it.
He gets it. He's in Texas. And he gets it.
Ain't no holding.
He knows what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I'm so angry with her for doing that whole video. Hey, Rick, can you put up that TikTok? Do you have the TikToks as well?
Oh, I can bring it up, yeah.
In the meantime,
yes, go ahead.
What did they call Michael Jackson?
I don't remember, but
the king of pop.
Okay, but I think that's a different thing. Okay, let me.
Same thing though.
No. Let's be honest. Calling someone the king of pop is different than we call people queen. What I felt was happening with Megyn Kelly was she was upset with the terminology of queen. You know what I mean? Like that's what I heard from that whole clip.
She was bothered by it.
Queen. We call different people queen at different times because something they've done that is an elevated state.
Yeah.
It's a black thing.
Yeah.
It is a black thing. And again, it's not that I want to get into racism, but you know what I don't want to do on my podcast or who I am? I don't want to pretend that things don't exist.
No. Okay. Let's turn it on its head. What brought you joy from the album? We know what brought Rick joy. What brought you joy?
Okay. Can I go first?
You go first.
Okay. So I think I listened to the album from beginning to end. Again, I'm a Lemonade fan. That's my album. I love Beyonce, but I think what brought me joy, and I hate that I'm admitting this because I don't want joy from negativity, but that it tickled and pained the feathers of so many people in the country world. And I'm going to go back to something I said before. The guy from Dukes of Hazzard, I forget his name. John Schneider, who turned around and said the same thing kind of sort of that Megyn Kelly was saying, this whole kind of idea that she didn't have no right to, she's not really country, she ain't got no right to do this song and blah, blah. But in the same breath, in the same interview as being like, oh, right, Shania Twain, when she did that song and pop, that was fine.
Right. Exactly.
Like, so my joy in this album is that it's making us have the conversations. And I have faith. I do. I have faith in white people. I have faith in the American people and white people specifically during this time to understand motherfucking nuance and understand a history, even if they're at first, being defensive. Look at Mario's dying. I know I'm losing people, but I also think I have to be who I am.
Show, bang, bang,
Sassy
We're about on a Zoom call by ourselves. I'm good. You know what I mean? But listen, I do. I have faith in people that they understand the layers of things. This is bullshit. Come on.
Oh, come on, Alma. You better say it for the people in the back. She said John Schneider it was okay when he was taking Tyler Perry's money. Boom.
That's right.
Yeah, he was being paid by a black man, then it was all good. But now, you know.
That's right. Go ahead, Alma.
Say it for the people in the back. That's my wife. Come on.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
What brought me joy was basically, that Dolly Parton gave her a stamp of approval. You're mixing black and white right there. Mm-hmm. So what is the problem?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And if Dolly Parton gets it, exactly. I don't understand why we don't have faith in the rest of America to get it. Let me read what Asher said. We should be encouraging each other as they branch out and show their range, not deterring people from wanting to show their abilities. Exactly. Brian just said you'll be mind blown when you see my music playlist. You won't be able to keep up. Okay, challenge accepted. Yaya brings me joy. I love Yaya. That's why.
Can I just tell you about Yaya? I heard that song and I felt like I was in church. I was like, I was going with it.
Hey, Sweet Pea. Stopping by, Sweet Pea. Love you. Rick, thoughts?
Well, I told you already. I said the Texas Hold'em I can jam with that. And then the Miley Cyrus one. What was it? Two Most Wanted. I wrote it down so I don't forget.
I love that one too. That's a good one. Miley Cyrus is brilliant.
I love good harmony. And they harmonize together very, very well. And I didn't know. I heard a different voice. I was like, I think I know that voice. I was like, that's Miley Cyrus. I think it's Miley Cyrus. I was like, yeah, it's gotta be Miley Cyrus. And I love good harmony, so it just automatically makes me fall in love with the song.
Yeah, but I'm gonna push you harder. here. I'm sorry, Rick.
Oh, okay.
How are you feeling about what Megyn Kelly said and kind of this album in general and how it's affecting people in the country genre?
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree with you about the whole. Sounds like she kind of jealous.
Ooh.
Like, why would you say that? Like, why do you have a problem with calling somebody queen? Like, when somebody excels at something, it's something that people do, Or if you're at an event and somebody's like, yes, queen, like, where they use that as well. But yeah, when somebody's excelling at something, it's not unusual to call somebody a queen or a king. Like, so if you just go out in the street and be like, famous female black singer, I bet you more people are not going to say Beyonce.
No.
You don't think so?
No. Did you guys know? I bet you none of us, me included, I didn't know who Linda Martell was.
I don't know who Linda Martell is.
Linda Martell is the first black woman ever to play at the Grand Ole Opry. Mm-hmm. And
I do know her name. You're right.
Yes. And if you listen to the album, she's in several of the interludes.
Okay, got you.
On this Cowboy Carter album. And I was like, who is Linda Martell? And again, went to go look her up and mine was blown. I'm like, oh, wow, that's history right there. And then the other thing is there's the interlude with Willie Nelson, which I think is hilarious.
Yes,
he's playing the DJ.
Yes.
He says, if there's one thing you can take away from our set today, let it be this. Sometimes you don't know what you like, and then someone you trust turns you on to some real good shit. He said, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm here. He said, up next on the Smoke Hour is Just for Fun by Beyonce.
Yes.
So, I mean, like, come on now. He said, sometimes you don't know until somebody introduces you into it. And that's what she really kind of did. That kind of summarized this album for me. She really introduced me into a lot of people I just would have never heard of. And I think it's dope.
And can I say this? This is, again, a little bit on the negative, but I feel it in my heart to share. Mm-hmm. We revere people when they die. And what I mean by people is, Black people. So people in the white community are all about Muhammad Ali. Oh, Muhammad Ali is amazing. He's great, whatever. But they forget Cassius Clay, who became Muhammad Ali, was hated because he wouldn't go into war. He wouldn't go into the military, and he was vilified. We do the same thing with Martin. And when I say we, I'm talking about white people. Okay,
like we, not me.
Y'all hated Martin Luther King when he was alive, and I don't mean you personally. I mean white folk hated him because of what he was doing. But now that he's dead, we all up in like Martin Luther King Jr.'s business, like he was the savior of.
But they really aren't that into him anyway, because all they know is the "I Have a Dream" speech. They have no true history of what that man persevered and did. So let's
exactly. And I don't want to say all white people, but I'm trying to give you information right now. Like what we need to do is revere people while they are alive and stop accidentally, because I think it's accidental. I don't think people are trying to be racist on purpose. But when you are vilifying Beyonce, I don't care if you don't like her music. You don't need to like her music. You don't need to respect or even enjoy anything that she does. I could care less about most country music. But when you turn around and are evil and you don't see the nuance and you dismiss her, that's when I have a problem. That's when I have a problem. You cannot turn around and say that she has no right to be in country music without knowing the history of country music. But let's just even make it smaller than that, because I didn't even know the history of country music till her album came out. Let's make it simpler. You can't do that and then be okay with all of the country artists. Taylor Swift is another one, Shania Twain. There are all of these artists who came from country music and planted themselves into other genres and make millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. Can't be a hypocrite is what I'm saying.
Tim McGraw and Nelly.
Who?
Tim McGraw, country singer. He made a song with Nelly.
He did a song with Nelly. That's right. He sure did.
Yeah.
But we are better than. But Nelly also did another country. He did another country song with another. It's a group, right? It was. He did. He had 2 country hits, which he was the first rapper to do that before.
Okay, here's the funny part. I don't know enough country music people to even be saying it, but we know the people that made it in pop music, in hip hop or whatever it is.
Here's the perfect example of the roles being reversed. What's her name? Maren Morris. She started out. Maren Morris. She had a song with that she had with Alicia Keys.
Oh yeah, right.
Meet Me in the Middle, right? Mm-hmm. That was an R&B. That came out as an R&B song, but people didn't have any problems when she went right over in the country and she became, he said Cowboy Troy was accepting it. I don't know who Cowboy Troy is. Who is Cowboy Troy? You want?
Okay. We need music. Tell us the song because we don't know who Cowboy Troy is.
Let me Google him because I don't know Cowboy Troy. Oh, he's a black guy. Okay.
She must have heard us talking about Prince. So she's like,
somebody
talking about Prince.
I saw, I was on TikTok and Toby was live and I went on her live for a minute. I was at work and her and Tony were on, they were talking. And I just need
to know if you can see him or not.
Toby is a very beautiful woman. Gorgeous woman. Okay. What are you showing us, Mario?
That's Cowboy because of my screen. That's
okay. And what about Cowboy Troy?
Brian says he's accepted in the country music.
But why wouldn't he be? It seems like a lot of black artists are.
I mean, there are a lot of black artists out there.
But is his point that Cowboy Troy was somebody in other genres? Because I've never heard of him, but not that I'm the music aficionado, but I don't
and there's another young man. He was just on Dancing with the Stars. He's a cowboy. He's a black country artist. And
Kane Brown?
Huh?
Kane Brown?
Kane Brown didn't know he was black until he was almost an adult. So, so let's start there.
Woo!
I'm just gonna start right there.
Sit there. You see, I'm drinking my.
Made me think of the skit with the guy going into KKK that was black, and he was like,
but Kane Brown said that himself. It's not that I'm not making that up. He said he didn't know he was black.
Wow.
I swear. My hand to Jesus.
That's okay. That's the world I hope we live in someday, where color is just another thing like our color. But we are not there yet. That's the problem. We are not there yet, people. Okay? Right. We are not there yet. Color matters right now. So
I saw something really, really funny yesterday. Matter of fact, I just came on my feed for some reason. It was a black comedian. And he goes, you know what? What if the roles were reversed? What if it was the white people that were the slaves? What kind of spirituals would they have? Can you imagine? So he starts going like, just a small town girl living in a lonely world. I was dying. It was so funny. It was so funny.
Rick, can you segue into showing the TikTok of the
You
second?
Want both? The second one?
Yeah, show the second one because that's kind of funny. I mean, I guess we could show both, but show the second one first. Can you do that?
And I play chicken with the train. Okay.
I thought it was relevant. I don't know. I don't see it anymore.
The name of the song is cracking me up.
Yeah, right. Hip hop, right? Oh, I saw this one. Yeah.
I sent it to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jolie, bitch, Jolie. I'm one of your girl, yeah, best to not come from my man. Bitch, Jolie. I'm making it clear so you can understand. Bitch, I see you there with your thin blonde hair. I'ma whip your ass from here to there if you ever say hello to my man again. I know my man is fine as hell, but that is mine, bitch, can't you tell? You don't compete, so you can't compare. You don't even got no derriere. That booty, ho. One more time, let me tell you one thing about me. I'm a Louisiana, Texas, Banshee Creole bitch. And I'ma beat your ass if you talking shit. Hold up, Jay. Hold my earrings.
Now, mind you,
Okay, so maybe this was the version
listening.
that Megyn Kelly was talking about.
Right. For those who are listening to us and can't see us, it says what white people are here, what they hear when they hear Beyonce's version of Jolene.
Yeah. So funny. Can I just tell you, I was crying. It was so funny because it's like that's not what I heard, but but
that's what they're hearing. I'm like, I didn't hear that.
Okay, but wait. Can we have a nuanced conversation? Do you think that it's possible that white folk, it's just hard to be in a situation where they're constantly being told now that things are different than what they're used to understanding? We've been lied to about our history. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about that?
The word purist comes to mind, and that goes on so many different levels.
You're gonna have to explain that. I need you to explain it.
Purist can go to the people who believe in the sanctity of the original of something. Whereas they'll say, oh, I'm a purist when it comes to country music, or I'm a purist when it comes to R&B, where only they believe certain people fit into a category. Or I'm a purist when it comes to race, when I'm a purist when it comes to, people don't believe in mixing races. They're purists. They don't believe in the evolution or developing new ideas because they are stuck in a way of things, the way things they believe they should be. If that makes sense.
You're saying that country music people are saying that they're purists because you can only be country music if you are what?
White.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, it's just what it is. Because but like Brian said, most people of all generations are scared of change, all ethnicities, and that's very true, Brian. Because they're just like not to get into race anymore than we've already done today. But people I still get looks. I've been with my wife for 30 years, but I still get looks. You know what I'm saying? To me, I don't care anymore. I don't see it anymore. But people of Hispanic race get pissed off. People who are Black get pissed off. And the same thing about people giving me shit because they think that I don't love Black women. That is never been the case. My mama's a Black woman. I love a Black woman. But I don't feel like I have to defend myself. Just like everybody else feel like they shouldn't have to defend themselves and being able to evolve. You don't have to be stuck somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? If that's not your thing, that doesn't have to be your thing, but you don't have to make it everybody else's thing. And I think that's where I'm at. If you don't like it, okay, cool. You don't like it. But you don't have to say, I don't like it, you shouldn't like it, and everybody else shouldn't like it either because I don't like it.
And it's wrong.
It's
right?
wrong.
It's not wrong, right? They shouldn't be able to say that. But Cynthia, what are your thoughts? And Rick, because
I totally agree. And, it also happens with religion. I know we don't talk about religion, but it does happen with religion.
Today, everything's open. Rick is like, oh my God, don't. We're in the weeds now. We're in the weeds.
There are some religions that do try to push their beliefs on other people. And it's like, as long as I believe in God, I believe in some type of higher power, somebody that's bigger than me, then that's all that should matter. You shouldn't care what my beliefs are. And, you have your opinion. That's it.
Rick?
Yeah, there's an interesting thing in the Christian music community. I especially remember even when I was younger. So when I was first getting into my belief system, right, all there was country, bluegrass, everything Southern, gospel. They didn't have no modern version of Christian, nothing. Now you got everything. But there was a time when like hard rock Christian started coming into play, and then rap started coming into play. And I was like, a lot of people, I thought this was very interesting. Well, you got some people, they didn't like neither one. No, that's not of God. That's not of God. Some people were like, oh, rock is cool, but rap, no, that's of the devil. I'm like, why? And then even one preacher who was pretty famous literally said he was not going to have a guy. He didn't know he was a rapper, not have a guy come to his church once he found out he was a rapper. And he's like, no, that's not of God. I'm like, you are so stupid. But one thing I noticed looking at the lyrics of the rock Christian and then the rap Christian, the lyrics of the rap blew me away comparatively to the rock. The rock was just like, basic. But the rap stuff, I was like, ooh, bars. What? Say it again. It was deep stuff.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So
they're still preaching the word of God. So it's like, who cares how they're doing it? It's coming out.
How it's packaged. It doesn't matter how it's packaged.
Exactly. There's a guy on TikTok, I don't know if you guys have seen it, who does a version of preaching about God to Texas Hold'em. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I just, like you said, even with the gospel music, man, the purists of the Winans and Shirley Caesars of the back in the day, man, when Kirk Franklin first came out, they were in the uproar about Kirk Franklin. Come on now.
Yep.
The man is still delivering the message. It doesn't matter how it's wrapped up, as long as you're getting the gift.
Right. And the thing that would really tick me off, even to this day, it still does, because I still see people doing it in the churches. They'll say, God doesn't like that kind of music. You ain't God. You ain't God. Sit down and shut up. You don't like that music. You don't like that whatever. It's not God. Shut up.
Go ahead, Rick. Preach.
Oh, it ticked me off. Sorry.
Yeah. Come on now.
Let me just
he got heated. Come on, Rick.
Get Rick going.
Said, hey there, I see many Indian Punjabi artists collaborating with hip hop rappers and singers like Sia. Is that how we say it?
Sia.
I think it's a beautiful thing that artists integrate their talent in different genres. Gigi, thank you. Absolutely.
Gigi, another perfect example is Missy Elliott and Get Your Freak On.
That's right. Yes. Oh, that's a good one. Yes. Alma just said exactly. We are to share the good word with all people. And look at, just for all the atheists out there, I do have atheist people who follow my channel. Look at, whatever works for you is fine. I think my whole thing about what's happening now, whether it's this whole thing with Beyonce or whatever situation, when it comes to issues of race or things that we in our gut just automatically start to be defensive about, please check yourself. There is nuance to everything. And I know white people are having a hard time. I said this in my podcast last week. I did a Carmen talk and I got some feedback and I know people listened to it. And I know it was a little bit hard to listen to, but here's the thing. We are in a world right now where people are just automatically, quickly, without thinking, without doing the actual work, reacting to shit. Mm-hmm. Your hate for Beyonce is stupid. You don't need to hate Beyonce. Beyonce is one of the geniuses of our time. And I'm not like a Beyonce crazy person. I'm not part of the Beehive or anything. But the idea that if you go back with an open heart and an open mind and go back and listen to all of her albums, which I own all of them, if you listen, she is a storyteller and she's a great storyteller and she's a historian. I know people are going to be all freaked out because I said that. But she does something that a lot of artists don't do. The only other person I think of that touches me this way is Prince. Mm-hmm. I know people are going to be upset. People are going to be upset. Like, don't you dare Beyonce, Prince. I am telling you right now, when it comes to the music and the genres that I love, I'm telling you, no one else has done this kind of thing with all of their albums where they teach history. They teach me something new. They make me a better person than Beyonce. And I'm not a fan. This album is fine. It's just not my favorite. But stop being a knee-jerk reaction kind of person and start being a person who has depth, who listens to nuance, who looks deeper into what's going on. Please, I beg of you, this country is in so much trouble because y'all keep knee-jerking reaction to everything.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
When something bothers us so deeply or so viscerally, it's something in it that is within us that's really is striking a chord, whether it be good or bad. And when we have a visceral response to something, especially if it's something you're unfamiliar with, you have to sometimes do self-reflection and say, why is it bothering me so much? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What is it about this thing that is just making me so upset? And if you do some self-reflection, you'll learn something new about yourself. And then
but Mario, it's harder because I'm not trying to be disagreeable.
No.
I'm going to disagree with you for a moment. I think white people are going through something right now, and what they're going through is real. They're going through something which is they have always been right, in power, correct. They've been the inventors of everything. The history is the way it was taught to all of us, and now they're being told all of that is wrong. All of that is wrong. That is not true. The country music thing is a great motherfucking example. Even I didn't know that country music wasn't a white thing. Mm-hmm. So I learned something.
And they're mad about it.
And rightfully so. But instead of being mad about being lied to, what's happening is they're rejecting the information. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what's infuriating. When I learned about Tulsa and I learned about Rosewood, and this happened during the whole fucking Black Lives Matter march, I was pissed at my country for not teaching me the truth about what happened to Black communities that were of wealth and trying to establish themselves, and were already established with their own income, with their own Wall Street, Black Wall Street, with their own abilities to create. And then they were totally killed, literally bombarded by airplanes and bombs and decimated. Yeah. When I learned that as an American, as a person who is a patriot and loves their motherfucking country, when I learned that, I was pissed. So if I'm pissed as a person of color learning that shit, white people are having a come to Jesus moment. And for the atheists, whatever that is for you. Yeah. But I'm just saying they're having a moment. Yeah. That is really hard. And I fucking get it. I get it to the ability that I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I watched a show. Oh, shoot. I wish I could remember what the name of it was, and it was showing the Tulsa thing, because it was like a time travel thing. And they went back in time and they went into the Tulsa. What do they call it? Tulsa?
Black Wall Street.
But wasn't there like a Tulsa massacre? Not massacre.
Yeah. It's called Tulsa Massacre.
So I was like, I watched it. I was like, oh, wow. And then I was like, I've been listening to people talk about the show, and they're like, yeah, that was a real thing. I was like, wait, what? Yeah. And I was mad because I was like, wait, why is this not known? Like, this is crazy. Yeah. This is crazy. I had to find out from a TV show, history, not in school.
No.
That's right.
I was mad.
Well, only reason I knew about it is because my grandparents taught me about it.
What a blessing. I'm glad that you knew that, because I didn't know nothing.
Yeah, I grew up knowing about Black Wall Street and about that, because it was, for people of the South, a lot of our stories are told through our ancestors.
That's right.
And so therefore, and it was important to share the stories. Now, some of the accuracy,
right,
but you get the general gist of, and then you can go back and verify for yourself. Right. But yeah, it definitely. And then another group of people were made aware of the Tulsa massacre was through Lovecraft Country.
That's the show. That's the one. That's the one.
If you watch Lovecraft Country, which is considered a horror genre, but it was still the massacre of all these Black people, and you got to see part of that in there. But for sure, it's I think people are just mad because our history is being whitewashed.
Well, no, it has been whitewashed, but now it's coming to fruition what a truth is. And I think Black folk in my life get mad at me because I'm trying to have as much compassion as I can for white folk who are learning something that I think is detrimental and painful to their idea of who they are in this country. And I think that's fair. I don't think that's a bad thing to acknowledge. Like I don't hate anyone in this country. I love my country. I have faith in the American people, even though they let me down over and over and over again. But I still have faith. And here's what I'm saying. We're all learning the truth about the United States. And I think the best thing we can do is embrace that. Yeah. Embrace that and become the country we can actually be by embracing it. By the way, Black and people of color and indigenous people, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're here. So this idea that somehow you can keep denying it, and I'm going to go back to the Megyn Kelly thing, whatever the fuck her name is, because I'm so pissed about her because she has a platform. She is the epitome of what a white woman is. You know what I mean? Like everything about her. She's white. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's got all these people following her, whatever. And to get up there and say what she did, I wish I knew her, because I would call her and be like, dude, what are you doing? You have all this power. What are you doing embedding this crap? This is the stuff that annoys me. The kind of fueling of the continuous racism. And that's what she was doing, is continuing and fueling racism. You can put lipstick on it. You can put a bow on it. You can call it whatever you want. But her jealousy and her racism was shining brightly. And I think we have to acknowledge that and realize that there's a fear in the white community that's valid. But you know what? Get over it, move on, and let's just figure it out. I don't hate white people. I love white people. I do. I love white people. But we have got to figure it out to be really true great. To be the great country we thought we were, we actually have to move through this part of us. And the reason why I call it racism is because it is. And y'all know the nuances of it. This whole hatred for Beyonce is about racism. It's about racism. This is not about Dolly Parton or about Paul McCartney or about her being in country or whatever. It's none of that. At the end of the day, if you sat with yourself, wrote in your journal, and really had a conversation, this is about racism. You're angry that a Black woman made country music, who is an amazing artist, and walked into another genre.
That made history. Let's not.
History.
She made history. Number one album, number one country album, number one single, all number ones, all in the same week.
By the way, the reason why she has made history in country music is not because of me. It's because of country people listening to her motherfucking country music, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
God, get a grip. Brian just said, "Welcome to political science. Everything you learned in high school is sugar coated. Welcome to the real shit. I listened to my professor." Amen, Brian. Amen.
Really? For real.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. You look at, I know this podcast is billed as something we don't usually talk about, racism and religion. But here's the other thing I know for sure. And on my Carmen Talks, I will talk about whatever I damn well please, and you don't have to listen to it. But I also can't be authentically myself. And this conversation is about race. It really is. And to shy away from it would be crazy. We're smarter than that. We're nuanced. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Mario.
No. Listen. That was it was on my spirit. I felt like I needed to bring the topic to the table. I brought this.
It's not Mario's fault, by the way.
My fault. Don't at me either.
Alma brought up the whole making of the Green Book thing, and that's a whole movie in and of itself.
Wait! Did I miss something about Alma?
She said that show also touched on the making of the Green Book and why it was so needed.
That's right.
So that's a movie.
My grandmother had a Green Book.
But why don't one of you explain what the Green Book is, please?
Well, there's a funny part in the show where basically these are places, restaurants you can go where they're okay with Black people, basically.
And hotels. It's not just restaurants. Yeah. Places you can go.
You can go there and they're not going to try to lynch you, right?
Yeah.
So in the show, they went to this restaurant because it was in the book. Didn't know that it got bought out by somebody else who was not pro-Black people. And so they're sitting down, they're like chilling, like everything's cool. Then all of a sudden the girl goes, "I gotta go to the bathroom." And she hears the guy saying, "Yo, a whole bunch of Black people, just 3 people. They just Black people came in here. Y'all need to get down here." And she came back. She said, "We got to get out of here right now. Like, we got to go now." And I was like, "Wow, that's so crazy."
And then there's also what they call sundown towns.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So, wasn't that part of the Green Book though? That's part of the whole Green Book thing.
That's all part of the Green Book.
And then that TV show too.
Hotels, restaurants, gas stations, cities. It was a path through the South to get all the way through safely. And you had to be out of these sundown towns to make sure you stay alive to see the next day.
Yeah. This was something that was told between networks of people of color, so you would know where to go and where not to go. Let me just say, growing up in Boston, sorry, I love you, Boston, but Cynthia, you know what I'm going to say? We kind of had our own little Green Book without actually having written down. Like you knew growing up where you could go and you couldn't go. It was very well established. If you know, after dark or whatever, and
like
if somebody
right now,
like
right now where I live,
you live in South Boston.
I live in South Boston, it's basically all Irish. So back in the 70s, early 80s,
I was growing up.
You didn't come to South Boston looking like me, Carmen, like.
Unless you were with a white person. So I would go with Al Carrier all the time, or I would be who was white, because I used to hang out in South Boston, but only with other white people. I would never go. So it's the same kind of thing. You knew as a person of color where you could and could not go. And that's part of what all this is. And here's the thing, white America, I'm saying this on purpose, we need to know our history, because the only way we get better as a country and as a people is to understand a truth. This isn't about me being hateful to white. I love white people. This isn't about me. I want us to know our truth, because we become stronger as a nation, as a people, when we know the truth of who we are.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Alma just said, I have a friend in San Diego that says they have a sundown town.
You do?
Oh, absolutely, in San Diego.
You do.
Melanie just said, so many people have crossed over from one genre of music to another. Beyonce, the latest. I don't see the problem. Thank you, Melanie. I agree with you. Hey, Audrey. Welcome. Audrey is Cynthia's sister.
Hey, Audrey.
But there's also people of color who are not supporting Beyonce's country song Have you seen a TikTok video of a woman who's in her car listening to music with her daughter? Beyonce song comes on, the Texas Hold'em. The mother says, oh no, this is not happening. So she changes the station and the daughter was like, what the hell? Well, bravo to the daughter. You know what I mean? Like, bravo to the daughter. Yeah, I mean, look at, there's a lot of people who have angst, but I think we can get past it. I think people need to move through it. I mean, I think that's why we're having the conversation, Mari. I think that's why you wanted to have the conversation.
100%. It's just about, now, mind you, Texas Hold'em was playing a lot. And there's another meme. It was another meme where the lady is it's a black and white video, and a woman, she goes to the Victrola, and you hear Texas Hold'em playing, and all of a sudden she takes the record off the Victrola and smashes it. She says, if I hear that song one more time.
That's right. Yeah. My God, this was such.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
Audrey. I didn't mean
go ahead, Audrey. Go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
I think this doesn't apply necessarily to everything, but in a lot of things, if you have a problem, you have a problem.
You have a problem.
Woo!
Say that. Say that to the people in the back. Say it
You have
loud.
a problem. You have a problem.
Come on now.
Woo! Rick is my co-host. Go ahead, baby. Woo! Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead. That was good. Yeah, you know what? But here's the thing. I have faith in the American people. I do. If Andrea was here, by the way, she's on a flight still and she was delayed. She would probably be like, "Oh, Carmen, you're so crazy." I think she's kind of a little bit lost faith in the American people. I still have hope. I love my country, and I still have faith in us. I think we're great people. I think it takes us a long time to get wherever it is we need to be, but once we get there, we're solid. We're solid. Look at Mara's like, I have faith, but wow, we are at 1 hour, 13 minutes, and we did not talk about OJ.
Oh,
we still can.
Deuces.
Woo! Well, let's talk a little bit about OJ. Go ahead, Mario. Why don't you throw in? Go ahead.
I said what I said. Deuces.
What's deuces mean? I don't even know what that means.
See you later.
See you later. Bye.
I mean, I don't. It's like he's so divisive rather. Either people like he didn't do it or he did it. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not on the jury. I don't care. I wish his family, peace and solace because he was still a father. He still had children. I hope that his children are at peace. I hope the Goldman family is now at peace because that was an ongoing thorn in his side and their side. So shout out to the Goldman, shout out to the Simpsons. Let everybody be in peace, and it's now over.
Cynthia,
I really don't care about I don't care for the man. So I mean,
okay, I'm gonna say something, but go ahead, Rick. I'm gonna say something that's gonna throw you all, but go ahead, Rick.
I forgot the movie. Is it called Barbershop? Where the barber goes, OJ did it. OJ did it.
I'm just gonna say this part, and then you guys can chime in, and we'll close it down. So I moved here in 1994. I moved here in 1994. What, Mario?
My wife asked me, did any of us see the last post that OJ Simpson did? I said, I don't know. I have to look.
I have no idea. It's not like I followed him.
Neither did I.
Audrey just said, well, technically the Goldman are really not at peace because they did say that their hope for his accountability has ended, which is sad. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. So I moved here in 1994 in California. And I didn't just move to California. I actually landed in West LA in the neighborhood where OJ Simpson killed or did not kill his wife, depending on your perspective. I actually ended up buying a condo across the street, literally across the street from the place where this all happened. So the reason why I bring this up is I think people forget the nuance of what happened back then. So let me refresh your memory. In 1991, Rodney King, during the riots in Los Angeles, was beaten by cops ridiculously. It was filmed on video. We didn't have phones back then, but it was on video. It was a huge news. You guys remember it, right? The Rodney King thing or whatever, and cops beat him or whatever. And that was 1991. That was March of 1991. And when I moved here in 1994, that was still a really big part of our ethos as a country, right? That all of these cops beat a Black man after pulling him out of his tractor trailer thing or whatever to a pulp. And then no one was held accountable for that. I don't know if people remember that, but nobody was held accountable for that.
Right.
And then in April of 1995, OJ Simpson's they came out and said that he was not guilty, right? That was what happened. So I was here in Los Angeles. I had a roommate at the time, Chris Laterzo, and we had a huge fight about this. But I was one of those people who was like, oh my God, yes! I was so happy about him being let go or whatever, or Johnny Cochran doing whatever. And people are all like, oh my God, how could you believe? It's not that I believed that he didn't kill his wife. That was not the controversy. That was not the issue. I absolutely know that motherfucking killed his wife and killed Ron Goldman. That was not the problem. But what people don't remember back then is that what people were feeling is, would you be treated the same if you were wealthy and Black like you were wealthy and white? What a lot of people of color were excited about wasn't that OJ got off. And I'm not trying to speak for all people of color, but I'm just saying my feeling and what I know from people I hang out with who are people of color. We were excited to see that the justice system was the same if you were rich. Does that make sense? Like, that's what the exuberance was of, oh, so if you have money, it don't matter what color you is, you will get off, because white people got off all the time and continue to get off if they have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there. I have never, not once, ever thought that he was not guilty. And I was glad that he was in prison. I don't give a fuck that he died. I'll just say that straight up.
Pick me.
And I'm sad that he didn't suffer more. What?
Pick me. I have a fun fact. Something else you don't know about me.
I just wanted to give that statement so people would understand that.
This is OJ related.
Go ahead, OJ related. Go ahead, baby.
I worked with Chris Darden right after the OJ trial.
Oh my God. Poor Chris Darden. He went through so much.
He actually, I remember that because I was still at Cal State LA at the time.
Wait, tell people who Chris Darden is on the audio.
Chris Darden was one of the prosecuting attorneys with Marsha Gray?
Marsha Gray. Yeah. And he was Black.
Yeah, Chris Darden was a Black man who was one of the prosecuting attorneys for the OJ trial. And I was a student worker at Cal State LA at the time, and I was working in the criminal justice department as an aide.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Another fun fact about me that you didn't know. So I was working in the criminal justice department at Cal State LA, and it was such a big deal. News reporters were everywhere, all over campus. We literally had to have a security guard outside of our office door just so he can come into the office to do his work before he got ready to go to class. We had to keep security outside the classrooms. It was a madhouse. But when I got to sit down and talk to him on a one-on-one basis, you could see the turmoil in his face all the time about how the outcome of that case came to be. And he talked about the case quite a bit in a couple of his classes that semester, or that quarter, because he taught there for almost a year.
Wow.
Really, really nice man, very quiet, very reserved, but very troubled, for sure. I can say that with honesty. He was very troubled about the outcome. And he said, we did our best, but it just didn't work out in our favor. But he said all the evidence was there.
Because Johnny Cochran was crazy amazing.
Yeah.
And people get so mad at like Johnny Cochran. And I'm like, bitch, if I was in trouble, you know who I'd hire?
I'm calling Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cochran. Okay.
If the glove don't fit, you
must quit.
Hey. But go ahead, Rick, Cynthia. Your thoughts about the casting of Mr. OJ?
I mean, like Tamara said, I wasn't there. Did I have a feeling one way or the other? I'm like Carmen. I like, you probably did. But, and I agree too, though. It's nice to see that, it's possible to get off even though you're not white.
Yeah.
It's
a tough one, though. It's a tough one because I agree with you, Rick, but it's kind of like, so that becomes a socioeconomic situation. So if you have money, you get off on stuff. So our justice system really isn't equal. Mm-hmm. I don't have that kind of money to have that kind of defense. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, that's what that was about. And by the way, my roommate at the time, Chris Laterzo, oh my God, we had such a fight. He was so angry with me because he heard me in my room. I was like, we had such a huge fight about it. He's a white man, but it was just so amazingly like, he was so angry with me. But Cynthia, thoughts? You loved OJ. Go ahead, admit it.
I'm just waiting for it to be on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians or something. Because that it's going to be.
All right, the Kardashians are related, right? Because they're...
Well, yeah, because they're
Rob Kardashian.
He was the lawyer.
Robert Kardashian was one of the attorneys.
Right, that's right. He was one of the attorneys on the defense with Johnny Cochran.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Well, look at
I just saw the last video where he was denying that he was in hospice. That was his last tweet.
Who?
OJ? Yeah, here, I'll play it for you.
No, don't play it. I don't want to promote him.
No, I'm just, yeah.
No, let's not promote him.
He said you can't trust the media, basically.
No. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I do think I want to be very clear. I am 99.99% sure he killed his wife and Ron Goldman. So I don't want to promote his fucking ass. But I want to explain what the exuberance was on my part and what I think a lot of people of color were. It wasn't about that he didn't kill them. It was that there was some weird equality that happened if you had money. You know what I mean? That's what happened. Ash just said, apparently Chris said good riddance when he heard of his passing, but apparently they were close. Who's Chris?
Kardashian?
Oh, I know nothing about the Kardashians.
Chris with a K, and she's talking about Kardashian.
Oh, okay. I just said, well, technically the Goldman are really not at peace because they did say, I read that already. Right. Yeah. I feel bad for Ron Goldman. So when I first moved here, I think Charlie and I talked about this a little bit. Charlie Matera, who we had on the private lounge, we met at there was Mezzaluna, which is the restaurant that she left her sunglasses at. And Ronald Goldman, the waiter, brought them to her. Like there's that part of the story. And it's so vivid in my mind because I remember when I first moved here, there were paparazzi everywhere. I got this apartment for like $540. I remember it. It was a studio apartment here in the heart of Brentwood. And it was because nobody wanted to really live here anymore because there was just so much drama going on. I was like, I'm in. I had just moved here. I'm in. And it was just kind of an incredible time here. It was horrible, sad, and yeah, I'm pretty sure, without a doubt. I don't think I would bet everything that he did do it. Brian said, so I shouldn't trade my truck in for a white Bronco.
No, that would be
no. No. Hey, so we're almost at 1 hour, 30 minutes. That went by so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
Wow, that was a great topic, Mario. I would have never talked about Beyonce, so I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. Melanie just said Robert Blake died last year. Do you think he was guilty? Who's Robert Blake?
Yeah, he went, but Robert Blake went to jail for.
Who's Robert Blake?
He played Beretta. Yeah.
What was he guilty of? Beretta. Don't break my heart. I loved Beretta.
Yeah.
What did he do?
I can't remember his crime, but yeah, I remember that whole thing. Hold on.
Melanie, we're going to follow up on the next episode next week because I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm so sad. I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
Hey, but everyone, we're almost at the 1:30 mark. So I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you, Mario. Love you. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. Cynthia, as always, hey. Rick Costa, you know I love you, my man. You're so brilliant. Thank you, everyone. And let me just give a shout out again to people on LinkedIn who I keep getting so many followers, and I'm so excited. Thank you. I appreciate the emails. I appreciate the DMs. We are working on swag. A couple of people have asked me for T-shirts and hats, and somebody asked me for my hoodie. I'm gonna hook it up. I'm gonna do it soon. I swear. I promise. What, Mario? What?
I asked for my swag a long time ago.
I know. You know what? I want it to be quality, but I think I just got to bite the bullet and just go with it. And I'm going to do it. I promise. But anyway, listen, thank you everyone for following us. Please go to YouTube, like us, follow, and share. Please help us out with that because as much as I don't give a fuck about how many people are liking us.
But we really do. We really do. We want you to listen.
Right. But investors do.
We really do. We really care.
We really do care. I'm going to be better about it. So please, if you could do that, I really appreciate you. And I appreciate the likes, the share, the comments. And I don't know why everyone emails me, but you can also just put a comment somewhere. But I'm okay with you emailing me directly. It's all good.
In the words of Rick, smash that like button.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. We'll be here next week. And remember, it's all about the joy. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.